camera. It's Friday and today we're making some 3D metal puffer nails. They are so cute, so fun, and so easy. They have to be the easiest nails that I have ever made on my channel. You literally need a handful of products, but they're so cute. They're so cute. Look at them. They are metal. They are 3D. They are puffy. I love. So there's this creator on Instagram that made this nail, and I was watching this video and she was squishing the little stuff in there and I was like, oh, I need to make those. Those are so cool. So we are doing it today. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you are not. If all of this sounds good to you, then you should probably grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfy, because we're gonna make some really cute shit. We're going to be using the Diami Canoe tips today. I love these nails. These are probably like a medium almond, so a little shorter than I normally go, but these are so awesome because I really don't have to shape these at all, which normally every other nail, I spend a good half hour to an hour shaping, like reshaping the whole nail. Either making them pointier or the square quisper, whatever it is. These, I just have to file off the cuticle area to round it a little bit, buff the top, file the little nub at the end, and we're good to go. Love those. All right, you're gonna want a clear clay, specifically a non-sticky clear clay, which this is the brand new clear 3D sculpting gel from Press-Ons. You guys, I used this yesterday. I made my whole right hand yesterday, and I tried this. It didn't stick to my gloves once, which can be a problem with clear or like jelly clays. They tend to get a little bit more sticky. This is like, it does not stick at all. It's awesome. And you really, really want a non-sticky clear clay for this design, or you're gonna have kind of a tough time. You'll see why, but you want something not sticky. Highly recommend this one. Also a new product, and I believe a new brand at Sweetie. Lord be with me. I'm gonna call it Oui. Oui is the brand. It is their silver metal painting gel. Also, love. It's very thin. It's very metallic. It's very shiny. I also have the ice gel and the Sissy. The ice gel has been my favorite. This is my new favorite. I love this. It's so easy to use. A top gel, specifically this one, honestly, the Yogo Zombie top gel. I purposely tried about 4 different top gels when making my right hand of nails yesterday, and this one was the one that left the silver gel the most shiny at the end, which can be a problem with silver gels. So I also tried their potted version of this. This one specifically, the one in the bottle, left the silver gel the most shiny. So I recommend that. And then you just need some charms and some glitter, specifically glitter that has like a little weight to it, like the star outlines, something a little bit thicker, because you're going to be pushing it into the gel. And then, most importantly, gloves. Let's get on with it. You're gonna need a bigger scoop of this, so just be prepared. You might use a little bit of your clay, but it'll all be worth it. So scoop out a good amount, and it depends on what length nail you're using. If you're using longer nails than this, then you're gonna need more clay, but if you're using nails about the length that I am, and then this is the amount that I would grab, a ball about this big. So just warm it up a tiny bit, and then I like to form it into kind of like a fat log like that, and then put it right in the middle of the nail. And then you're just gonna start pushing it down on all sides, and you want to push more of the gel into the middle of the nail. So you want the edges of your nails to stay, to stay nice and thin. So like the cuticle, just keep kind of pushing into the middle while also pulling down just a tiny bit so you get the clay to the edges of the nail, but while keeping like the most of the clay in the middle. You don't want your edges of your nail to be like super thick. So just keep turning the nail and just pull like a thin, just stick your finger and just take like a thin amount and pull it to the edge. And that helps keep most of the clay, the thickest part, towards the middle. You don't want your cuticle to be all thick because you still want it to look like a nail and to apply nicely. If your cuticle is all fat down here with clay, it's just not going to look as nice when you put it on. So you want all of your edges, you want to make sure there isn't like a little gap where the clay ends, like right there. I can see that the nail is bare right there. So you want to make sure that you pull that clay down, because otherwise when you paint it, you're going to see those little bare spots. And then if it goes over the edge of the nail, just push it back up. All right, so I think it's covering all the edges. Nope. All right, there we go. So now you can see the nail's all kind of wonky looking. Now we're just gonna smooth that all out. You want it to be in the shape of a nail, just a very thick one. So keep your cuticle area looking like the shape that it should be. The nail should be the shape of the nail. It shouldn't be like fat on one side or anything like that. Keep the shape of your nail. You're just basically making sure that there's gel on the top because we're gonna squish stuff down into it. And then you're gonna turn from all angles and make sure that everything is even. There isn't like more clay on one side than there is on the other. And you just wanna pat, pat, pat. I also don't like there to be like a bunch of clay pushed towards the front. I like that area to be a little bit more like angled down here, just like a normal nail would. So I push some of that clay up. So it looks like that. And then you don't want it to be like flat on the side, so you just want to make sure everything's just rounded off. And then just double check from all views that everything is in the shape that it should be, because once you paint on top of it, you're not going to be touching, you're not going to be patting it out anymore to reshape it. When you're done patting it out, it should look like this. Just a chunky nail, but with thin edges, and the nail is still in the shape of a nail. And then we're ready to move along. All right, so before we paint it, I am going to pick out the charms that I want to use. So I want to use these little colored bubbles. I want to use these little hearts up here. And these stars. Some silver bows. And some Hello Kitty, metal Hello Kitty heads. I just like to have all my charms ready so that I can just grab them right after I paint it. So you're going to grab your silver paint. You do not need much of this gel. You literally, I just dip it in, wipe it off, and then do not press your brush into the clay. You just float it on top. You don't want to mess up the clay underneath. You want it to stay in the shape that you molded it into. So just lightly brush on top and make sure you get all the edges. And then once you make sure all the edges are covered, I just go over the top and just smooth everything out. Like that. There is one little bump right there, but we'll stick a charm there. No biggie. It's really, really cool. It looks like a metal egg. So what I do is I find where I want to put it, and then I just stick one edge like that, let go of the tweezers, push it in, and then you want to push evenly on all sides. So you don't want to just shove it down on one side. You want to make sure both sides are evenly getting pushed in. Just like that. And you're just going to keep doing that. I'm going to cover that little dot, and then same thing, just push down. And you don't want to just push really far down. You just want to push enough that it makes like an indent in the 3D gel. These can be a little bit more difficult because it's an outline. So this is where these little skinny tweezers come in handy. Take the tweezers, push together, and push in on all sides. You just don't want to get the tweezers in the gel. You don't want to make an indent with the tweezers in the gel, or you'll have a mark from the tweezers. So should look like that. And once you have your nail all covered, cure it. Cure it for 60 seconds. The silver gel needs 60 seconds to cure. But, so cute. We're going to do the same thing we did on the thumb. So grab another blob. It just doesn't have to be as much because the thumb is probably bigger than your pointer finger, typically. So for my pointer finger, I'm using about this size blob, and again, roll it. And you can make it like a little bit thinner to put towards the tip, since you're going to use less down there. And then again, just start patting and pulling to each side, leaving the thickest of the clay towards the center of the nail. So just pull. We don't want a hair. And then push towards the middle a little bit, just to make sure you keep that little hump right in the middle, and just have the thinnest areas always be on the edges. And just give it a little final pat to make sure it's all even, and you should have this. Just dip, wipe off, just float it over top. Then lightly paint the whole nail, make sure all the edges are covered. Lightly pull to the back and then just keep doing that. I feel like with metallic paint, you don't want to go like one way and then back the other way, because to me it just ends up looking, you can see the lines more that way. So I just like to do it all one direction to finish off. And just kind of thin it out a little bit, because you really, if you use too thick of a coat of this metallic paint, it doesn't like to cure as well. So keep it thin, even, and you should be good. And it will just get shinier and shinier the longer it sits. It's awesome. So if you weren't to press, if you're just using the silver painting gel, you wouldn't want to cure immediately anyway. Give it like 15 seconds to sit and it'll get more metallic, and then cure it. But since we're sticking a bunch of stuff in there, it's going to sit. Anyways. All right, I'm going to use a little silver bow in this one, I think. Push in on one side so it's stuck on the nail so you can let go. And then take your tweezer and lightly move it down on this side. And push. And then come back to this side. Push. Middle. Oh shoot, I got the I got the tweezer in the middle. Oh no, I can put a little star there or something. Ah, that was my stupidness. Well, that was dumb of me. I was pressing, as you could see, like this. You don't want to do that. You want to use the tip of your tweezer to press on all sides of the charm. I think this charm was a little bit big for this nail, honestly. Here, it's like it wasn't ever there. Cure it. I am going to go and I'm going to put clay on the rest of the nails, and then I will be back to paint them with you guys and put all of the charms in them. You guys, these are so easy. I literally just covered the last 3 nails in probably like less than 10 minutes. The silver. Cover, cover, cover. I just find it so satisfying to just squish it on in there. So that's what I like to do with these stars, is stick them like that and then fold them over and push on the other side and then back on that side. And I do that because I just like to get the star like stuck in there so I can take the tweezers out and then evenly push it in. Then you don't accidentally dig in it with your tweezers like I did earlier. So cute. I also want to point out that I'm leaving this clay sit on these nails while I do all of this, and it doesn't budge. It's not melting. I really, really like this clear clay. It stays in its shape. I put a little more on the pinky nail. She's a little chunky, but that's okay. But it's keeping its shape. It's not like getting hot and or warm and kind of melting off the nail, losing its shape. It's, as you can see, it is not sticky whatsoever. It's really, really, really good. She really did a good job with this. I love it. I love it. All right, let's paint the last one. Yeah, this one is a little chunkier than the others. Like down here towards the tip. Could be a little skinnier, but that's okay. We're curing her. Time to top coat. We're using this, like I mentioned in the beginning, this leaves that silver gel the shiniest out of all the top coats I tried. So we're using this, but since it's in a bottle and the brush is bigger than what I need right now, I'm gonna use a little liner brush and a smaller oval brush. So I'm using, I think it's from, yeah, Lily. It's their oval brush, but any smaller little brush shaped like this, or whatever you want to use, but I prefer this shape, and it's very tiny. So I'm going to be using that for the bigger areas, and then the Cocoist long liner brush to go over the skinny areas, because you don't want to cover the whole nail. You'll ruin the effect. Typically when I top coat and I have charms, I go over the charms, I go over everything except crystals because it takes away the shine, but I go over everything, I encapsulate everything. If you do that here with these nails, you're gonna lose that indented, like puffy effect that you created because you're gonna like fill in all those lines. So what you're gonna do is you're not gonna go over the charms, you're just gonna go over all the silver parts that are not in the little indent, if that makes sense. Like basically the whole silver area, you just don't want to fill in the little indents around the charms. I hope that makes sense. So because I want to use these brushes, I'm going to take my little palette. I have this little, I think I got this at Daiso. It's like an acrylic block. And then these are, I'm not totally sure. It's a sticky palette. You can get these little things at like Daiso or something. Not this one. This is from a Korean nail store. I cannot remember. Luna, maybe. And I'm just going to stick this on here. I could just use the sticky palette. I could just take this out and stick it on the desk, but I like to be able to move it around, so that's why I stick it on a separate little palette. And then you're just going to scoop some out and put it on your palette. Like I mentioned, I did try the Yogo Zombie Builder Non-Wipe Top Gel in the green like tub, because I figured it'd be easier to use something in a tub than a bottle for this, but it didn't leave it as shiny as this, so. So go around all the charms, just don't stick your brush in where it's indented, because you don't want to fill in the little indented marks, or that effect. It'll fill them in and then that indented effect will be gone. You'll just encapsulate everything, which we do not want. All right, and then you're going to cure. While I'm doing this, I want to go over a couple things about the silver gel. I know recently in a group that I'm in, somebody was having an issue with it curing. So here are some little tips that I think, I haven't had that issue at all. It's cured perfectly fine for me every time that I've used it. I've used it a few times now. But I think for one, you have to stir it up. When you open the jar, stir it up, because just like any gel, everything kind of settles, and especially with a metallic gel, things settle at the bottom, and you just want to stir up all the pigments really well so everything is even. Second, thin layers. For one, the thinner the layer, the more shiny it's going to be. So you want to work in very thin layers. Do what I did, paint it on, and then thin it out with your brush. And third, you just want to make sure that you have a nail lamp that's a professional nail lamp that's capable of curing opaque gels, because it's definitely a very opaque gel. It's like a black. You don't see through it whatsoever. So you want to cure it for a full 60 seconds and you should be good. That's everything that I've done, and I haven't ever had a problem with that gel curing. And then we're gonna cure. I will go top coat the rest, and I'll be back to show you guys the finished nails. Ooh, we're all done. What do you think? They're so fun. I love them. I think they're so cute. They're so different, and they were so easy. Like, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. What do you guys think? Are you going to try them? Please let me know if you give them a shot. Give me a tag. Tag the original artist that I showed you guys in the beginning. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out oh so much. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have the best weekend. I love ya. Bye, guys.